Hey guys, how's it going? I'm Sharpened Blade. You can call me Mike. And today, I've got a couple more first impressions for you. Actually, no, one first impressions and then just another knife that I got. And I figure I might as well make note of it because it's a knife I never thought I'd get again. I got another Civivi. So I had some knives up for sale here in Canada and they weren't selling. And a guy offered to trade a couple knives for them, so we traded them. And there's one knife which I'm going to do the first impressions on that I wanted, and then the other ones I wasn't sure which one I wanted, so I settled on this Civivi knife. And yeah, I'm kind of glad I did though, because I actually like it. This is the Riffle. Now I had the Riffle before. This is pretty much the exact same one. This is not the same one that I'm aware of, because I sold the one I had, but I got this one just the other day, and it's I gotta say the action on it is much better. The detent is much better dialed in, much better. It works quite well. I'm actually really impressed with this. I like it. I haven't carried it yet, but just as far as the action goes, it's better than the other one I had. The other one I had wasn't too bad, but this one's definitely, it's good enough. I think I'm going to keep it around. Man, I never thought I'd say that. But yeah, so the other knife I have is a Kizer knife. It's the SLT. It's a decently sized knife. Not exactly sure. Well, I can figure out how big it is. Blade length is just over 3.5 inches, and the handle length is about just about 5 inches long. So it's a good size knife. Definitely a full size folder. Not quite sure what to think of this. I didn't mind it in pictures, but in person I don't really like this huge pivot screwy thing. It's a fingerprint magnet, and it scratches. There's not a lot of scratches on this, but it's not, well, I can just zoom in and show you what I mean. It's just not real attractive looking. So now on this side, it's you can put a coin in there or whatever. So it's proprietary, but not really. You can put a coin in there. Or a screwdriver if you have one that's the right size. Yeah, I don't know. I don't like the look of it, and it's kind of ugly on this side. It's kind of cool, but it's kind of ugly. So it's very neutral. It doesn't really add anything to it, but yeah, it doesn't really take anything away, I guess, either, so I'm just very neutral on this. But besides that, the action is pretty good. The detent could be a little stronger, but I feel like it's pretty good for what it is. It still fires out pretty well. I don't know, you know, I say it could be stronger, but maybe I don't want it to be stronger, because this this flipper tab is, there's not much jimping on it. It just kind of curves up a little bit, and it's kind of slippery. So if the detent was stronger, it would be kind of a pain in the ass to deploy it. Ergos are good. There's lots of room here for my hand, definitely, but it's very slippery, very slippery. There's no jimping of any kind on here. It's just a constant slip. Now, if you're going to be using this for EDC use, fine. I don't think you'd slip off it. I don't think that would cause any problem. But I mean, if you were doing anything hardcore with it, I'd have to be concerned. But again, this is just first impressions. Now, it may not get a review. This might not get a review. I might sell it. I have to sell a few knives here. So I may end up selling this one before I do a review on it. I'm not sure. But it's I'm not disappointed in the knife. I like the knife. It's just there's some things that need to go on the chopping block, and this knife is one of my latest knives. I haven't formed any kind of attachment to the knife yet. So if I have to sell something, I could sell this one a lot easier than some of the other knives I have in my collection. So this may be gone soon. But I do like the knife. It's just there's a lot of other knives that are probably better than this. As far as the action goes, I already talked about the action, but I mean, I like the action. It's fairly fidgety. It is slicey. I carried it for like a day or two. I didn't carry it very long, but I carried it a little bit, and it did cut quite well. It's a flat grind. It's not a super tall flat grind, but it comes down to a fairly thin edge. It's not a laser beam, but it's for the size of the knife, it is slicey. It's just the ergos. It's comfortable, but it's just so slippery. And the pocket clip is not a hot spot, but man, is it ever a big pocket clip. People definitely notice that sticking out of your pocket. But, you know, at least it doesn't look overly aggressive. It's just very big. Other than that, it's very simple construction. You just have this one barrel spacer, and then you have your pivot. That's all that's holding the knife together. So easy to take apart and maintain, I'm assuming. It's a solid knife. It's a solid knife, but I don't know. I wish I could carry it longer to get a little bit better idea how it is, you know, as far as an EDC goes. But I wanted to at least get something recorded here before I sell it. And I might not sell it, and I might do a better review on this, but I don't know. I like it, but I just don't love it. So it's probably gotta go. It's also very heavy. It's quite a heavy knife. I didn't weigh it, but it feels quite heavy. There's absolutely no weight relief done in this. So it's just solid titanium. So who'd have thunk it that of the two knives that I got, because these are both the knives I got in the trade, who'd have thunk it that of the two knives that I got, I prefer the Civivi. That's crazy. Gideon, if you're watching this, I'm assuming you're watching this. What the heck? I know what you're thinking. What the heck happened? But, yeah. Although you like sin cuts, so you can't say anything. Anyways. I think that'll do for these rambly thoughts. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.